Hi, I'm Hannah.
And I'm Matt Hannah.
And this is Horror Hour with the Hannahs,
where we probe ourselves and guests to determine what the best 4 alien movies of all times are.
Oh, I really like that.
Yeah. Probe.
That's so punny.
Yeah.
That's better than I thought you were capable of off the cuff, bud.
It's also kind of an innuendo, so, you know.
Hell yeah, we love one of those. Well, like you said, today we are joined by some special guests to try and figure out what the Mount Rushmore of alien films are. So today we are joined by Everett of Watch This Film blog and Kimberly of Forever Fangirls Reviews on YouTube. So hi, guys.
Hello.
Hey.
We are super excited to have you on and chat aliens. But first, we did want to give you guys the opportunity to plug yourself, plug your socials, where people can find you, what kind of stuff you post. So, Kimberly, where can our fans find you?
Well, we are on Instagram, YouTube. Well, we just joined TikTok and Threads and Blue Sky. And it's just Forever Fangirls Reviews.
And what kind of stuff do you generally post?
Well, we'd like to share basically if there's a woman in front of the camera, behind the camera, the LGBTQ plus community, or any allies. We really do. That's our niche. We like to support all of their films, whether they're in front or behind the camera. So that's really our focus.
I love that. That's awesome. And Everett, what about you?
Yeah. So like you said, Watch This Film blog. That's the @ on Instagram, all one word, no spaces. Right now, the actual blog itself that is being referenced there is on hiatus because I had a baby, so my ability to write full-length reviews is quite a bit reduced. But I'm still doing what the blog started out doing, which is counting down the 1,000 greatest films of all time according to a formula that I came up with that basically aggregates the aggregators, like in the 400s right now. So if you want to check that out, I'll sometimes do like an actor tournament or a director tournament in my story. And then if you want to see, I don't know, more of my just like general life thoughts, you can follow me on Blue Sky, ev-manser.bsky.social. Mansur's MANSUR. But yeah, really love talking movies, love talking nerdy things. I'll talk sports if you really want to talk sports. Yeah, you know, I'm all over the place.
Well, we are very excited to have you both on. We will share your links in our episode description as well, so everyone can more easily find you. But before we get too deep into picking our specific 4, we did want to ask, do you guys like alien films? Like, when I posed this as a concept, were you like, fuck yeah, I love these? Or were you like, I mean, sure, I'll come on a podcast? Like, what did that look like?
I'm going to let Everett jump with this one first.
Please. So I probably land somewhere in the middle of those two. Like, I really enjoy an alien movie. I don't know that they're like my number one passion in film. I think when I was younger, as a child, I probably would say absolutely alien movies are like the best. Was a big sci-fi fantasy guy growing up. And now I'm like, hey, if I've got a little bit of time, I'll jump on a podcast. So I'll jump on a podcast. But yeah, excited to dive into this because the more I thought about it, I talked to my wife. We're like, there are actually a lot of movies that are or could be considered alien movies. Mm-hmm. And so I had to narrow my list down quite a bit. I ended up with like 50 movies that I was just like, all right, this is where we're cutting off. We're going to look at these and pick 4 from this.
That's kind of how mine worked too. I don't like alien movies, which I'll get more into, but I had like a long list.
I don't know if that's true that you don't like alien movies. She's got a history of alien movies.
I'm very scared of alien movies. And I haven't
You're growing. This past couple months has been a big deal for Hannah in the alien movie genre.
Hard.
Proud of you. So like, is it the aliens or is it the concept of space? Like what?
It's the aliens. I watched E.T. when I was like 4. And 4-year-old me did not like that guy. I thought it was like quite literally the scariest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And I maintain that even now. he's just really scary, and then he's sick, so then he's scarier, even though that's not his
And then
fault.
your dad scared you.
And then my dad likes to traumatize his loved ones, and so I guess at one point he thought it would be funny if he laid under my bed because he knew I was, 4. So I was like, "There's monsters down there." So he laid down there, and then E.T. phone homed down there. So I thought E.T. was under my bed, and I didn't even know that was like a thing. Like I didn't remember it because I was 4, and it was like probably when we started dating, and I was like, "E.T.'s so scary," and my dad was like, "Oh yeah, well that probably didn't help." Carla, what the fuck? Why would you do that to your 4-year-old?
So Hannah has had a long time alien fear, and so when I've watched a lot of alien movies, she has not. And in the past, like 2 or 3 months, you've knocked out like 4 or 5 alien movies.
Yeah,
so
I had.
Where she's on her way to growing, and you like sci-fi.
I do like sci-fi.
So I think it helps.
I had to prep for Disclosure Day, which is, why we're doing this episode is to prep for Disclosure Day. So I needed to explore the genre more fully. But Kimberly, I'm sorry. I got so excited to talk about my fear of E.T. Tell us about your interest or lack thereof of alien films. What brought you into
I
this?
love alien films, to be honest. There's so much going on in them. So if done really well, there's a lot of depth to them. So I'm always absorbed in it. And there's a lot of psychology behind it, which was my degree. So I've kind of been obsessed with it. And what's funny is you mentioned E.T. I saw that in theaters back when dinosaurs walked the earth as a kid. And that it absolutely didn't terrify me. What actually terrified me were the people. So I didn't want to deal with adults anymore. I just wanted to go and deal with aliens or like hide in stuffed animals because that was safe. So it was really weird, the complete opposite from you. But I also didn't have a parent that scared the living daylights out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's your dad.
that's him in a nutshell. So it's unsurprising. I do like that lens of it that you're able to look at it from. I was also a psych major, so hey.
Hi.
Well, we did ask our followers online.
You're not going to ask me my opinion on alien movies?
Okay, fine, yeah.
Oh,
Go
okay,
ahead.
all right.
I guess.
Who cares?
I was going to say I'm also a huge fan of alien movies and a big fan of sci-fi in general. What I found while putting my list together was I picked a lot of non-horror movies, and I feel like there's this element to alien movies that I enjoy, which is like this kind of like whimsy of exploration and discovery, and a combination of like the cosmic horror of like we are ants among the stars. And so that kind of guided me in some of my picks, which I think are a little more out there for a horror movie podcast. But overall, I love alien movies, and I think it really is that kind of sense of adventure and exploration that really works for me.
And I will add, like, we didn't put specifications here that because we're a horror podcast, we wanted that.
Yeah.
I think there's enough overlap that it felt like a fit regardless.
Yeah.
So it's okay if someone's list has 0 horror movies. I don't care. Live your truth, man.
And like E.T. is not a horror movie, but
Nope.
he makes some scary sounds and looks terrifying.
There's a jump scare, multiple jump scares in that movie, especially in the corn.
Yeah. Spielberg was in his bag with that one.
I appreciate your emotional support here.
Gotcha.
So for the folks at home, what we are doing today is we've each come prepared with our own personal Mount Rushmore of alien films. So we each picked 4. We will go through and share those, and we will discuss basically if anyone else had that film on their list and why or why not. If that's maybe on the ledge for you, if you liked it, didn't like it, what have you. If a movie has 3 or 4 of us in agreement, like that's on my list, automatic entry into our group Mount Rushmore. If it has 2 in agreement, we'll put it on like a maybe list, and we'll either vote amongst ourselves at the end if we're capable of coming to a democratic answer, or we'll put it to a vote on socials. We'll see how many we end up with, probably.
Are you ready to write them all down?
Yeah, I'll keep track of them. That's fine. Of course, make the woman be the secretary. I get it. So, Matt, why don't you get us started with your first pick?
Oh, okay. Right off the bat, this one was an easy one for me because this was a very important movie in my childhood, and also hits a sense of adventure and whimsy, and that is the movie Men in Black, and starring Will Smith, and probably one of his best roles. It was written by Ed Solomon, directed by Barry Sonnenfeld, which knows those names. Our quick IMDb back of the box description is: James, a New York City cop, is hired by Agent K of a secret government agency that monitors extraterrestrial life on Earth. Together, they must recover an item that has been stolen by an intergalactic villain. And this movie was again, huge part of my childhood. Probably was a little too young to be watching this PG-13 movie. This was probably my first PG-13 movie, if I think about it. Absolutely adore this. Will Smith's amazing. Tommy Lee Jones is amazing. And this whole, I love this movie taking place in one day. Or, well, excuse me. The main part of the plot takes place on his first day of work. Mm-hmm. There's obviously the beginning part. And I was talking to Hannah at our little happy hour beforehand, and I said, Men in Black is probably not a 10 out of 10 film for me, but from a script standpoint, this is a perfect movie in a lot of ways. It is tight. It moves quickly. I feel like there's no fat on this thing. And it really worked for me then, and it works for me now. So Men in Black's on my Mount Rushmore.
Okay.
Did anybody else have Men in Black, out of curiosity?
I had Men in Black.
I love it.
Men in Black. It's such. You said it. I said, please. It's so good. Even Vincent D'Onofrio as the sugar guy. Just
water.
It's fantastic. There's some depth to it too. There's some stuff about immigration, obviously. So it's played more for laughs, but such a good sci-fi, such a good alien movie. There's so many different alien designs in there too. From the lovable little squid baby to, the scary Ant-Man to the weird freaks that secretly run, back alley black market shops and stuff. It's great.
And don't forget Dennis Rodman.
Yes.
Also an alien.
Never forget.
Not much of a disguise, as they say. I think this movie just hits so many notes. It's adventure, comedy, there's scary moments, it's tense, and kind of hits that nice sci-fi. And I think there's no one better to play Agent K than Tommy Lee Jones in this. That stoic seriousness that he has works perfectly for a Men in Black. A man in black, as we say.
Yeah.
I
So
don't know. My favorite part about that movie is Frank the Pug.
That's the second. Yes. Oh, no, he's in the first. He's in the first. You're right. I was about to say he's an agent in the second.
Yeah.
There's also the cat.
Mm-hmm.
I love the cat.
What's the cat's name? It should be easy to remember.
I don't remember.
Orion.
I knew that. Yeah. Okay. I was Orion's just nervous. I didn't get a chance to rewatch it like I planned on. Well, I also had Men in Black on my list. So it got my fourth spot. To be fair, I had 3 that I was very confidently I love these films, but I don't think everyone else will necessarily put them on their list. And this was one I was toying with for my fourth spot. I just think that it's such a fun, like you said, it's just such a fun film. I think they have really great chemistry together, Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith, and the way that those characters play off each other. And I have a real soft spot for the Men in Black ride in Universal that when I came down to my last picks, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. This one's really important to me because it made a ride I really like, and I'm really scared of rides too, in addition to aliens. But somehow that ride hits. And the Will Smith part at the end where he makes fun of you for shooting the aliens bad on the ride. Love him. So good. But yeah, I just think this is a really fun movie. You guys, already said plenty, and I am going to rewatch it probably tomorrow.
I'm jealous. So I'd like to watch it with you.
Okay. So
it's one I've seen probably 10 plus times in my lifetime.
Yeah, I'm sure I've seen it many times.
Well, so that is a one automatically put on this unless it gets kicked off by something. Is that how it works?
Yeah, I mean, I guess unless we have a ton of movies that all 3 of us said, and then
it's up there.
But as of right now, it's on the list. So
we should shoot it over to Kimberly then, because now all 3 of us have said one. So.
I'm feeling very dumb that I didn't put that on my list because it's a great movie.
It's okay. It's a kind of out there one. Out there in that it's a lot of people forgot about it, I would say at this point.
Yeah, I think the sequels knocked it down a little bit for me.
For
Yeah.
sure. For sure.
So I have to say my number one actually was Arrival, which I'm going to destroy the name, but Denis Villeneuve, the writers Eric and Ted, that's all I'm going to say. Basically, I did my own summary. So I have spaceships touch down on Earth. And before the world goes to war, linguist Louise Banks, played by Amy Adams, is brought in to find a way to communicate with the aliens. Truthfully, and the reason I love this film so much is because it put me on this psychological and philosophical rabbit hole. Because the whole idea for them is that communication is universal. So if we could all communicate with one another, would we be so quick to go to war? Would we be more compassionate and more loving and more accepting if we could actually talk to one another and understand one another? And then the idea of time not being linear. So it's, if you knew the end, you do it anyway, because the journey develops who you are. So it makes you the person you are at the end of that journey. So I go down deep rabbit holes with alien movies. I'm sorry.
No, and that's perfectly fair. And I do think a lot of alien films are very deep and are saying quite a bit thematically. And I think that is why a lot of us, even if I'm scared of aliens, I think that's part of why, like, I'm still a lot of them inclined enough to watch, because I do think they're saying something that is really valuable for me. I also had Arrival.
I also had Arrival.
I also had Arrival.
Whoa.
Oh, wow. Okay, so
That's 4 for 4.
That's incredible. Wow,
Wow.
I did not think this would go so smoothly right off the bat.
I'll say, and just to tag on what you say, I found that this is like one of the most realistic depictions of an alien movie. Maybe the language being allowing you to see the time as nonlinear aside. The idea of the fact that we wouldn't be able to communicate being such a barrier is not something that has been tackled before. So I love the idea of like linguistics and how language are learned being kind of the driving force, and the fact that you're able to create this entertaining of a film that's just about teaching language is very impressive. And Denis has the sauce, to put it simply.
Yeah.
So overall, so cool. It's so cool. It's emotional. And I love that idea of being like, oh, how do we talk to them? And then in China, they're using mahjong to teach them how to speak. And they're like, you can't do that because everything's a competition. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, I never thought about that. And all the mistakes that have probably been made through colonization and the years of trying to communicate with different cultures we've probably faulted in all these ways before. So it's very cool. That's all I'll say, though. Great movie.
Yeah, I do think it's thematically such a stellar film. And I think that in addition to what you guys mentioned, like you said, the portrayal of time is really interesting as well. And the way that like asks you questions, if you knew the outcome, would you still do it? I do think the performances are excellent. I'm not a Jeremy Renner gal, but I think I am when it comes to this movie.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh my gosh.
And I think Amy Adams was deeply snubbed for this, not having a nomination, even when I think she could have realistically won. I think she's incredible. I think the movie looks good, as Denis films do, and I think the score is awesome. So I just feel like as a cohesive film, everything about it is fantastic.
Yeah, like Matt, you kind of alluded to it. I think this is Denis' most emotionally resonant film. I cried watching it in the theater, and I don't cry in the theater a whole lot, but it struck a chord when I was watching it with my friends in college. And it's fantastic. It's one that I can't get out of my head.
It sticks with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's one that I've said before was a top 5 movie for me. I might have outgrown that at this point, but then I go back and watch it and I'm like, it really is excellent.
It's still so good.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. So all 4 of us on.
That's crazy. I did not think that would happen. I knew that was the first movie that
Men in Black might get kicked out if we all end up.
It could at this rate. But Arrival really was the first movie that I put down and was like, no matter what, this is making my top 4. And maybe that's unconventional. I don't know. But I do think that it did something so different than a lot of the other alien films that I had on my list. And I love Denis Villeneuve, so it felt like a no-brainer. Okay.
So who do we kick it to now that all four of us had that?
Everett, why don't you go next?
Okay, yeah. So Arrival was my number one, so I'll go to my number two. I have Alien, directed by Ridley Scott, written by Dan O'Bannon and Ronald Shusett, or Shusett, however you say that. Probably everyone knows what it's about, but the quick IMDb synopsis: after investigating a mysterious transmission of unknown origin, the crew of a commercial spacecraft encounters a deadly life form. What is there to say about Alien that hasn't already been said? I think objectively, probably a lot of people would tell you that this is like the best movie about aliens, especially if you're talking horror movie about aliens. It's only one alien, but the xenomorph obviously is very formative in the world of aliens, alien horror. Other alien movies draw on the imagery of this film. I think the production design is insanely good. Obviously, Sigourney Weaver is fantastic. The themes about gender norms and expectations are really, really interesting. And the horror is good. They do a really good job of keeping you scared. Love the cat. And obviously the sequels continue on and make it richer universe, even if not every one of those films is fantastic. In fact, I think a lot of people would probably tell you most of those films are not fantastic, but I enjoy them. You know, it's a good time. But I think the original is the one that's got to go on the Mount Rushmore. So that's what I have.
Well, you have a huge Prometheus fan over here in me.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
Crazily enough, this was a movie I left off, and I have to defend myself really quick. Now, I love this movie, adore it. The only reason was kind of what I was saying earlier, where I was like, Alien as itself is so much more than just an alien movie. I was like, it's kind of this slasher in space. It's kind of this idea about a corrupt corporation who is screwing over a bunch of big space truckers. And I was like, I'm going to leave it off because it's not hitting me on the whimsy of the other alien movies. That's the only reason why. And I know that that's incorrect of me in many ways, but I can be convinced to put it on.
Hey, the xenomorph is not whimsical. I will allow that.
I'm just going to say this is where I cheated because I put the Alien Saga as my number 2.
Oh, no, that's interesting.
Okay.
I thought 1 and 2 collectively.
Oh, not Prometheus? Come on.
gotta have Prometheus.
I actually have to admit, my wife and I did an audio podcast on how much we disliked Prometheus. I'm so sorry. Maybe seeing it now, it might be different, but the way it was hyped up, and then I went in and there was no alien. So I was like, but it's supposed to be an alien. So I think I went in expecting one thing and got something else. But for the Alien Saga, especially 1 and 2 specifically, the silence, it was the first time I had ever seen a movie where silence was there. And it was used so effectively to terrify me and also understand the loneliness in it. Yeah. And it was so well done. And then, of course, Sigourney Weaver. I mean, I've been to so many Comic-Cons and met her and Veronica Cartwright, and they're just so good. And the way everything was done was so unique, especially for the time. And it still holds up. That's the thing. Granted, the explosions in space aren't as great, but it still really feels so fresh and so new, even though we have these new movies coming out. So that's why I cheated.
Hannah recently watched Alien for the first time because I forced her to. What
I will say is I had tried to watch it a little while ago, and I definitely was sick when I was trying to watch it, and I fell asleep earlier than I'd like to admit.
But then you rewatched it.
So I rewatched it again recently without the sleep. I have seen Prometheus though, too. Because Matt loves it, so I did watch that one. And Romulus. So I've seen
Romulus, you're right.
A handful of them. I did not put Alien on my list, but it was one of the 2 or 3 movies I had vying for my 4th spot. And then I ended up just throwing Men in Black in there because I think it had like more nostalgia factor for me because I had watched that when I was younger. I fuck with that section of Universal. Like, I was
Yeah.
literally like, I don't know how to split these apart.
People are
for
going to be mad at
me
us for not picking
personally.
Alien, but it's okay.
Well, especially being the horror
yes.
podcasters that
Right.
are like, not the
Come
horror
on,
movie.
guys.
We both love Alien. I just was like, there's a couple more that I think beat it out in my feeling about what an Alien movie is.
But what I will say is, if it like comes down to it, and we're like trying to find one more to shove in there,
it goes on there
easily. Yes, like that is my number one honorable mention. I think it's great, and there's a reason why this movie got so many sequels. It's because it's fantastic, and I also think thematically the Alien franchise in general is so important, especially when it comes to the themes of women's autonomy over their own bodies. These films are so centered on a woman's right to choose and control what happens to her body, and I think that's a theme that unfortunately is still entirely relevant in this day, and that's why we're still making these films, because it doesn't.
They made it, and
relevant.
they were like, "What's the scariest thing that could happen to a man?" Oh, forced pregnancy to a man. There we go.
But
like,
actually, for real. So I think that's a great pick, and would
Hannah and I are both just defending ourselves for not picking it, is what we're trying to say.
Thematically, like, that's my pick of my last three that I was shoving into the fourth spot. I just like panicked. But
can't have a three-way tie on the fourth head of Mount Rushmore, unfortunately.
That's the thing. That's the issue.
Oh, we can't have an alien attacking Mount Rushmore if we want.
Coming out of
it can be
chest,
the chest of Mount Rushmore.
Yes.
You know what? If that's what we have to do with this graphic that we post,
we have
to do, team. I can go next with a pick. So my pick is maybe not conventionally what you think of when you think of aliens, but it is a horror film. I'm going with John Carpenter's The Thing. Screenplay by Bill Lancaster, tells the story of a group of American researchers in Antarctica who encounter the Thing, an extraterrestrial life form that assimilates and then imitates other organisms. This film, I think, is got to be on my top 10 horror movies of all time. I think it's incredible. It's tense. It's scary. It has some of the best practicals that I've ever seen. The blood test scene specifically is like peak cinema, one of the best scenes in horror like ever. I think it does such a great job of subverting your expectations and then boom, surprising you at the end anyway. The design of the alien as it's like morphing and changing is disgusting and scary. And I think the themes are extremely, extremely interesting because we obviously have these themes of paranoia and mistrust. And then especially thinking about it as like a response to McCarthyism, you know, that period of time where they were accusing politicians, actors, etc., being communists. No.
I know. I remember we had an episode on this and I remember talking about that a bunch. So
we did talk about that quite a bit in our episode. So that does exist. Feel free to check it out, folks at home who haven't heard that episode.
I can't believe this stole its plot from Among Us. That's crazy.
That's so crazy, bro. But yeah, I mean, I think it is incredible. And it's so insane to think that this was considered bad and like a B movie when it came out.
Yeah.
And now it's like revered as one of the best horror movies of its time.
Not just best horror movies. This is like up there in a lot of people's best movies of all time.
Yeah.
So,
and I get it. Matt, did you have The Thing?
I did not, for a similar reason to Alien, where I was like, The Thing is its own thing.
And I kind of get that.
It, to me, I was like, this isn't, obviously it's an alien movie, but what an alien movie means to me, The Thing doesn't hit exactly, which I'm maybe being pedantic or silly about it. But I was like, love this movie. This is a movie about isolation and uncertainty and fear of your fellow man. And I was like, that's not what I want for my alien movie. I just want The Thing. So I'm being weird about it. That's my thought. Did anybody else have The Thing, though? No, that's crazy. We're getting death threats after this podcast.
I know. I didn't get to revisit it in time and I haven't watched it in years, probably since high school.
Now that's interesting. That might need to move to the top of your list if you haven't seen it in high school.
And so, yeah, I was just like, I've seen all these more recently, gotten back around to them.
Watch it with your baby. Put them on
game
early.
Look, the baby has seen some crazy things, so that would not be that out there. She's seen E.T., so,
Well,
Terrifying.
So I'm going to say something absolutely horrible. It's not on my list because I have actually never seen it.
Whoa.
I know.
Both of you
it's
need to
on
get
my
together and
list
watch
of-
this.
Yeah.
The thing is, I want to do a reaction video with my wife as a first time watching with it, but she's back in school now, so, when's time?
Right.
But I've seen snippets, and the only thing I really remember was the ending and the sitting outside, not knowing who to trust. So totally spoiled the ending for myself. But
It doesn't matter.
that was such
really
a fascinating
doesn't.
thing of like, who is it? And that stuck with me for way too long after the fact because I have no context for how we got there.
I'm excited, and I'd like to hear from you once you watch it because it's an experience. Like,
It's a time.
and I said there are a lot of people, like, again, horror podcasts. There are a lot of people who don't like horror movies. That The Thing is very big for them. So it's great. It's also just well made.
Yeah.
Like that's the big thing is like the being out in the Arctic and the snow. It's like beautiful looking, and the sense of isolation is just like crushing. So it's great. All right. Well, who's up?
Okay, so we've each presented one. Matt, why don't you do the next one then?
Sure. We just talked about it, so I'll
Yeah.
bring it up. Another really important movie to my childhood and to my adulthood is E.T. the Extraterrestrial, directed by Steven Spielberg, written by Melissa Matheson. If I need to give the IMDb plot synopsis, it's a troubled child summons the courage to help a friendly alien escape from Earth and return to his home planet. E.T. makes me cry on command every time I've watched it as an adult. There has not been a single time in adult age that I have watched it and not sobbed at the ending. I loved it as a kid. I love it now. Spielberg is a complete magician and savant of a director. I'm sorry, Hannah, that you're scared of it. You're going to have to watch it eventually. But everything about it, I think, is like fascinating, especially when we've talked about Spielberg's skeleton key of his career being The Fabelmans and how he feels about his parents. And you see it right here with E.T. as well, with Elliot having an absent father in this situation and kind of like being troubled from that and finding a friend in this extraterrestrial who's also been left behind by his parents. And it pulls on my heartstrings. It's beautiful looking. Like, I don't know. How could you not love E.T.? This is the whimsy I'm talking about. So did anybody else have E.T.?
I had E.T.
Okay. All right, good.
It was my last one in because I did the rewatch with baby last week. It bumped out Invasion of the Body Snatchers just barely. Sorry. Which does mean that we've talked about all four of mine now, but I do think E.T. is fantastic. Spielberg loves an alien movie. He'll produce an alien movie. He'll direct an alien movie. Obviously, we're talking about these alien movies because we have a new Spielberg alien movie coming out. And we're all I assume we're all very excited for it because they're out there, right? That he's going to tell us the truth this time or something. I don't know. Unclear. But no.
Did you cry?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
See, Hannah, I'm not the only one.
No, I don't think it's weird that you cry. Like, I understand why you cry. I want to cry listening to the score itself.
Yeah,
Like,
the John Williams score
I can hear it
is what does it.
It's incredible.
God, that bike scene was like all I wanted to do as a child once I saw them running from the cops on the bikes. And obviously,
It's
like
so cool.
First time he flies over the moon on the bike, it's like, this is cinema. This is life. I'm in a different dimension right now. So
this is him watching the train scene in the movie theater in The Fabelmans, right? Like
exactly.
If I could look at E.T. without tearing up from fear, I think this could be on my list.
We're going to do some
also.
exposure therapy because I think it's important for you to eventually.
There's like a few films that I really think I need a form of exposure therapy for. The two that come to mind is E.T. Can you go see the other one?
No.
The one that makes me afraid of closets?
Oh, Coraline.
No.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
That I
Mama.
probably do need borderline exposure therapy.
Reasonable.
Mama, it was the first horror movie I ever saw in theaters in high school, and I was not prepared because I didn't like horror at the time, and it scared the shit out of me, and now I'm too scared to revisit it.
Hannah
And
has
I
seen
doubt it's that scary.
Spielberg's War of the Worlds, which actually gave me nightmares as a child, or like a young, whatever I was, middle schooler. Yeah. But you can watch that, but you can't watch E.T.
The alien part didn't. I mean, like, it's not like we're seeing this scary little guy
who's sick and all white and.
I know. I feel bad that it's him being sick is what extra scares me.
It's because he's not close to his family. He's like,
oh my god, you sick freak! You're so scary because you're ill. But
me and my friends would have beat E.T. to death with hammers.
With hammers, I'll tell you that much.
E.T. was just Everett, on the outside of my list.
Yeah, just on the outside.
Just on the outside. I had two nostalgia ones for number 4, and I did a flip a coin and chose which one was heads.
Well, Everett, it's clear that you have very good taste considering all 4 of yours have. I
was going to say we've nailed it.
So you're going to be you're going to be doing a lot of debate once we get to that spot.
Yeah, it's time to tell a lot of people no.
So you had Arrival, which all of us had. Men in Black, which 3 of us had. Alien and E.T., which 2 people had.
Yeah.
Incredible. Incredible.
Love to see it. I'm just good at what I do. I'm the best.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You clearly are. I think that's the natural conclusion that we could come to here.
We've done 3 of my 4, so
Matt's the second.
Yeah. We've done 3 of your 4, haven't we?
Well, 1 no one else had.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Asterisk.
Rip. Okay.
Well, feel free to comment on any of them, Everett, and then we'll make sure you get plenty of time to talk during the debate.
For sure.
Yes. Okay, Kimberly, why don't you bring another one to the table?
All right. Well, since only 2 of mine have been taken, wow, I suck.
Same though.
No, that means you just have a eclectic taste.
Better at the.
I chose an oddball one for this. I chose The Mist. With
I never even thought about
the director, and he was a writer with King. Basically, a mysterious mist envelops a small town as interdimensional creatures devour anyone outside the walls of a supermarket. And basically, the inside is more evil because they have a human face, and the outside is just going to eat you, so you're done. Why I like it, I struggled reading as a kid, so I love Stephen King because I could read that, and I really loved the depth he went into it. But I also love that this is a complete mind fuck of a movie from start to finish. It just twists you up and you never know who to trust, what to trust. And it still, to me, is relevant today because, again, with the fake news and all that other crap going on, everybody is so quick to jump when fear's involved that they don't think about it. And that ending scene where a young woman is screaming about her kids, somebody help her, and nobody wants to walk her back home. And then he shoots everybody in the car as mercy killings, runs out of bullets for himself. And then you see the military saving everybody. And in the car is that woman he refused to help. That fucked me up. So I remember seeing that with my wife, girlfriend at the time, and I couldn't stop talking about it for a very long time. She actually told me to shut up after a while. We've
all been there.
Really stuck with me.
I didn't, when I was thinking of alien movies, this did not come to mind for me. So it is not on my list.
I like this pick, though.
I think it's a really fun pick. Yeah.
The ending, especially of this, especially the way that it deviates from the book, I think makes it one that is going to stick with you. And you're right. It is still relevant, right? I wish I had thought about putting this one on.
I fear you have joined the Hannah camp of you're the only one who listed a movie. So The Thing and The Mist are hanging out together.
Great company.
Yeah.
All right, Hannah, do you have another one?
Yeah.
This is your last one?
This is the last one that I have to bring to the table. You've brought all but one to the table as well, too, right? Okay. So I think I might be the only one who has this, too. So we'll see. My last film is written and directed by Jordan Peele. It's Nope. A man and his sister discover something sinister in the skies above their California horse ranch, while the owner of a nearby theme park tries to profit from the mysterious otherworldly phenomenon. I love this movie. I know that some people, like, it's kind of polarizing. Some people love this movie, some people hate this movie. I think if you hate this movie, I don't really understand your brain very much. Personally,
do either of you hate this movie?
I've never
I'm
seen it.
sorry, I was clapping like little hand clap.
I love this movie. I think it is stunning looking. I think it is scary. I think that without showing us like little green men, little scary guys, this alien is somehow fucking terrifying. Specifically, the digestion scenes are, when you think about it, like truly one of the scariest things I've ever had to process and think about and witness. Like the first time I saw it, I didn't even process that was what was happening for like too many seconds. And then when I like it finally hit me, I was like, oh my God, like he just did that. Like,
don't think about it too hard.
Yeah, you really can't. And I just think that it's so thematically interesting as well, because it is just doing so many things thematically, and some of those themes go together and some of them kind of clash. Like, I think it's just bringing so many cool ideas to the table and doing so in like a cohesive way. Like, so much about exploitation, like specifically exploitation of Black creatives, exploiting resources for your own entertainment, like how Jupe is killing the horses. And it's also like so much about how we treat things that aren't clearly human. Like, there's a line, he got caught up trying to train a predator. I guess some animals ain't fit to be trained. And, you know, all of that piece of the narrative I think is so interesting and compelling as well.
You know, I love this movie.
I know you do.
I've argued on some days I think this is Peele's best, although I've said many times on this podcast that his best movie is the most recent one you watched. But adore this. We have a whole episode on it where I talk about a lot of the themes, but I did not have it on
That's
my
fucking
list.
Crazy. Just so you know, like, that's insane of you.
To not have this on my list?
Yeah. This is
I
like
didn't
one
put
of
it
your
on.
favorite movies we've ever covered on the podcast. And
I didn't put it on my alien movie list. Yeah. This is more of a Western.
The sheet UFO is not whimsical.
Not whimsical.
It's not whimsical.
I do. My third one's not that whimsical, but I have a.
Yeah, I did
reason
see
for
it
it.
when you scrolled through.
And you probably are not
and
happy
it's
with
not
it.
whimsical, first of all.
I'll
Number
explain
two,
myself when I
based
get
off
to
how
it.
he discusses Nope, I'm like, how did you pick that over Nope?
I'll
What
explain.
the fuck?
I'll explain when I get there.
What the actual fuck? Okay.
How did I pick mine over aliens? Well, do we want to send it back to Kimberly before me? Sure.
Okay.
You got at least one more, right?
I
Or you have
do.
two? Okay.
It is completely out there, and it was either this E.T. or Contact, but I ended up with this one, and it was simply because it was the first alien movie I've ever seen, and it was the original 1953 War of the Worlds by Byron Haskin and H.G. Wells and Barry Lyndon. And basically, aliens just invade the world, and a small town in California survives because they realize aliens have no immunity to Earth's little common viruses and bacteria. And we all learned about the big radio show Hysteria and everything. So that interested me. Also the fact that my parents just put it on, so I had no choice. I was a kid. But it was amazing to me that it looked pretty good. I saw it in the color, not the black and white, so I don't know how the black and white looks. But it looked pretty good for the time. It still kind of holds up. But it was the idea that Mother Nature can wipe out whatever it wants, whenever it wants, however it wants, with the smallest little thing that we can't see. And as a child, that was more terrifying than anything else on screen. So I really have to admit that I didn't want to be around anybody who had a cold for like at least a year after seeing that. But again, visually, storytelling, the history behind it, and the nostalgia element really was the only reason this is my number 4.
This is one I've never seen.
Yeah,
So
I fear I have not seen it. Again, I feel like I have an excuse because I'm terrified of all of them.
But
also
you're
older than
not
dirt,
terrified
so
of the
you're good.
new War of the Worlds. So like,
yeah,
Yeah,
No
explain
excuse.
that. Yeah,
undo
to be
the
fair.
excuse.
terrified of Tom Cruise.
Oh well, fair.
Matt
No. I mean, maybe you should be, but I do love Tom Cruise.
Matt loves Tom Cruise, so he was like, "You have to watch this movie." I actually
Listen, I know he's not a good person, but I
Shout
like
out
his
to
movies.
Scientology, baby.
Yeah,
Matt likes to say
I've
that
said it many times where I was like, when you make movies like he does, you get a little Scientology as a treat. he might know where the president of Scientology's missing wife is, but Mission Impossible 8 made me want to run through a wall. in a good way. So
Fair.
silence.
Fair.
Good for you,
All
baby.
right.
Yeah, so I fear I did not have it because I haven't seen it, but I think that's a really cool pick.
And I think if you think about like Mount Rushmore, like you've
It
got to
is.
have the OG. So I get
Yeah.
the pick. It makes a lot of sense because
I'm a fan.
George Washington's on Mount Rushmore, and he was the OG president.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next thing is we
Logic.
take our 4 and we decide which one of the presidents are each of them that are
Yeah.
on there.
Which one's the Teddy Roosevelt that's just there because they happen to be the one who made the call? Like,
Yeah, made the call, and then there's a whole other
hated
story
Native
behind that.
Americans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he wanted to desecrate their holy site, and yeah,
I was like,
a guy.
making Mount Rushmore is a pretty apt comparison, just because the further removed you get from anyone's Mount Rushmore, the worse it looks in context.
Yes.
Well, on that note, I'll give you my last one, which no one else is going to have.
Yeah.
And I'm a psycho for this one. And I decided to go with M. Night Shyamalan's Signs. And I know that it's not whimsical, but for me, I was like, what else speaks aliens than crop circles? And the idea of like an actual invasion happening. And that's like, as a kid, when you're like looking at all of these things, like that was what things we thought about. Like, oh my God, there's these crop circles. Aliens are landing. They're here already. They're staking us out. And there's this like real fear that this movie
give us the
has.
plot.
Oh, my bad. The plot. A widowed former reverend living with his children and brother on a Pennsylvania farm finds mysterious crop circles in their fields, which suggest something more frightening to come. So I just love this movie. I'm sorry. I think it's the crop circles, the idea of the invasion, but away from that, and this is not the alien portion of the movie, I'm not a religious person, but I joke that I become religious for about 30 minutes after finishing this movie, because I love the whole idea about like this, everything has happened for a reason. He like regains his faith because of all the little things that like led up to this moment to protect him and his family. The alien design's great. That shot of them of Joaquin Phoenix watching the shots from, I think it's in Mexico, and is probably one of the scariest, most pants-shittingly frames I've ever seen on screen. And so that's why Signs is taking mine.
And
Swing
to be
away.
fair, it's very fitting for Matt to have an M. Night Shyamalan movie in his top 4, and I
think I'm
support
wrong.
that
I think
for
I'm wrong
you.
in this pick. It just felt right for me, though.
It feels right for you, yeah. If you were to replace it with anything, what would it have been?
What else is on our list? Probably Alien. So
Nice.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I actually think we have like a pretty...
Or my bad, The Vast of Night, which is a very unknown, I would say unknown alien movie. But
And that would be a cool pick as well.
yeah,
That is a cool pick.
I do think it ends up being kind of an obvious top 4.
we have an obvious top 3 at least, right?
No, we have
we have an
very
obvious top 4.
obvious
This is
top
crazy.
4, which is actually
Whoa.
really
We don't
crazy.
even have to debate.
Wow.
Well,
We're going to keep this under an hour. This is crazy.
That's insane.
Before we get into it, did anyone have any honorable mentions that they want to give a quick shout out to that maybe they were picking between that didn't hit the top 4?
I'd have to scream with Contact. That movie, although slow, was very similar to The Arrival, and the ending where they're like, oh, she didn't do anything. She just recorded static. And the person looks and goes, yeah, but she recorded 24 hours of it. That section, I still know those lines today because it's the unassuming. Just because you see something doesn't mean that's the reality. So that was really, I think it was 90 something, but that was a great movie to me.
It's a good pick. And then I know you said you had
I had
E.T.
E.T.
on
hanging
the-
out there.
yeah. Matt,
I've never seen Fire in the Sky, but I have seen the probe scene, and it is horrifying. And I feel like I'd have to throw it up there for that, just for that scene, which I somehow came across. But obviously, like The Thing, Alien, things that were also named really do work for me. Prometheus, of course.
Gotta have Prometheus.
That's a whimsical movie, I'll tell you that.
Absolutely.
Adventure film, it's great.
Everett, obviously, like, you kind of nailed it. If there's a winner of the episode, it's you. But did you have anything else, like, on your honorable mentions?
I did. I had Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the original, also the 1970s version. Both are great for different reasons. Both are a lot of fun. Both have that like what the thing has, what the who can you trust. I think the ending of the 1958 one is really tough, and in a good way, in a way that a lot of 1950s American Hollywood movies were not. And I really like that. Also, though, they're like plant aliens, and so it's kind of hard to say like, oh yeah, they're definitely aliens, because you don't have a lot of space going on there. There's no spaceships or anything. They're just pods that show up. I also had Predator as an honorable mention, because it's hard to think about aliens and not think about Predator.
Yeah.
Both the franchises and the entities.
And the verses.
Yeah, let me tell you, I did a full watch of both Alien and Predator franchises last year, because there were some that I hadn't seen, and there's a bunch of new stuff coming out from those. AVPs were rough, but I had a great time. They're like so bad on so many levels, but
it's a lot like Freddy versus Jason, you know.
Yeah.
Or in Japan, it's The Grudge, Ju-on versus what's her name? I can't remember. Samara in the United States one, but I forget. I've read the book. How do I not know? Sudoku.
I kept
Sadako.
I was gonna say I kept in my head calling it Sudoku, and I know that's not a name. So
Ju-on fighting Sudoku. Just an hour and a half of just nope, not 9. Oh, hold on.
She just like me for real.
My honorable mention, I already said Alien was one of mine, and then my other one is really silly. My other honorable mention was Lilo and Stitch.
That's a great pick. I was reading your screen,
Stitch in my list. Yeah.
Oh, I should have put that as my number one, because I absolutely love Lilo and Stitch. It's my favorite movie of all time. It's even on the inside of my wedding ring, says Love Lilo, and hers says Love Stitch. So
that's really cute.
I don't consider that like an alien movie. That to me is like so much more. So
it's an Ohana movie.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. That's why it kind of ended up being an honorable mention. But
we watched it recently, and I forgot how funny it was.
We
like as an
watched it
adult,
last
I was like cackling.
It's so good.
I also was laughing because I never realized how like neurodivergent coded Lilo is.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. I was like, she's on the spectrum. I get it. Like that makes sense.
Yeah, I was like, half my immediate family has the same diagnosis, Queen. Let's go. Yeah, I loved her.
Yeah. Stitch too, so probably.
Good. You know? Yeah. Love them. Some other movies that I was never gonna pick, but I wrote down were Begonia.
Gotta love Begonia.
I told her that was cheating.
Yeah.
I said that's not an alien movie. I'm sorry.
but
the
rug aliens.
Yeah, exactly, Matt. Star Wars feels like cheating.
Fantasy.
Star Wars felt like cheating, and I did not put it because the aliens are just part of the world.
Exactly. I don't want to be a cheater.
Star Wars isn't sci-fi either. It's fantasy.
It's not. Thank you, Matt. You're speaking my language right now. Preach, brother.
Takes place in the past. Has nothing to do with being fearful of technology.
They've got magical powers. Yep. It's not sci-fi.
Mm-hmm. I also jokingly wrote down Transformers because like
that's so stupid. I love that.
I was going through my list and I was like, I asked my wife, I was like, Sid, is Transformers an alien? She's like, yes, it's an alien. They come from Cybertron. It's another planet.
Yeah.
That's so silly.
Wouldn't it have
if only the movie was like better? You know?
Yeah.
I know it's good.
The first one's good.
I was going to say for a movie that's like technically rotten, it is so good.
Yeah. It's like Twilight, you know, there's some rotten movies out there that are in fact actually really good and have aged really well.
Yes.
I just get stuck on the fact that they took a Volkswagen Beetle that I grew up with and made it a Camaro.
That is crazy.
That bugs me so much because I still had the toy. It's somewhere in a box. I still have it that I had when I was given as a kid. And I'm like, it was so small. That was the whole point.
Yeah. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, Camaro is a muscle car, right? Like, that's kind of a crazy pivot.
Yes, yeah. But he had to look cool in front of the hot girl. So
that's right.
Yeah, and toys.
Megan Fox don't date no Volkswagen Beetle guy.
Apparently. One thing we can thank Ronald Reagan for one thing, and it's that he removed that law that you couldn't advertise to children, and that's how we got Transformers. So, shout out Reagan.
Thanks,
I would
Reagan.
never ever say that except for this one circumstance.
At least you're being selective.
Yeah.
Damn it, you're making me thank Ronald Reagan right now.
I never thought that could
real
happen
crime.
in this episode.
Rest in peace.
Let's just cut that one out. We don't need it.
Yeah, people need to know.
Yeah.
I mean, also a lot of other bad things, including being able to advertise solely to children.
Yeah, that's
It's
crazy.
crazy.
That's
It's like
actually
both.
an insane law.
Yeah, there was a law you couldn't. That's like Transformers would have never happened had he not gotten rid of that.
God.
So that like it could just solely be advertising for children, because Transformers as a cartoon was just an advertisement to buy toys. So
Yeah.
Wasn't any Saturday morning cartoon that though?
prior
Yeah,
to Reagan, no.
I'm trying to think because I was alive then, watching Saturday morning cartoons with my little spoon that I got out of the cereal box that changed color and probably had some really bad chemicals in it. I don't remember.
Well, let's go through the movies that we picked with only one person listing them. Unfortunately, we have The Thing, The Mist, Nope, The OG War of the Worlds, and Signs.
Shout out.
With 2 people listing them, we have Alien and E.T. With 3 people listing, we have Men in Black. And with 4 people listing it, we have Arrival.
Hell yeah.
Therefore, we have a very easy top 4 in E.T., Alien, Men in Black, and Arrival.
So Arrival's got to be like the Lincoln of this, right?
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
I guess.
And I guess Alien is the George.
It's the oldest.
It's the oldest.
Yeah.
Alien.
Yeah.
Okay.
E.T.'s much younger than
Okay, then
Alien.
E.T. probably is
Oh,
Jefferson.
no one
It's
wants to be
Jefferson.
Jefferson or Roosevelt. in this.
Yeah, I think E.T. is Jefferson, though.
E.T. is Jefferson. He is representative of the expansion of the United States, and I do feel like E.T. really helped us
Yeah, expand in Hollywood.
the Alien
and-
blockbuster. And then Men in Black gets to be the last spot. Congratulations.
Yeah,
You
it gets
made
you
it.
Roosevelt.
Yeah, they led a charge against Cuba or something like that.
They sent Elvis home.
Men in Black, the Trustbuster movie.
Oh, no. Well, they are kind of like
Actually,
government
yeah,
employees.
Yeah.
They're kind of like ICE, except for aliens, if you think about it. Don't
they
think about it too hard. Never mind.
No. It's
You're going to make
No,
me
no, no,
remove it. I'm going to bump it down.
but they do protection for the aliens, I believe,
Yes.
as well. There is
Yeah.
channels. Honestly, the immigration for aliens in that movie is easier than immigration for actual immigrants
Yeah,
in
what's
real
that-
life.
what's
So
that
even in the 90s, right?
yeah,
What's that say about the current
what's that
state
say?
of American
That the Men in Black
politics?
should run everything for us.
That's it.
That's what it
Yeah,
is.
Nailed it.
Just put Tommy Lee Jones in charge of everything.
Yeah.
There are
Oh,
worse
that's
things
funny.
I think that we could manage to do.
Sorry, I'm still laughing about the Men in Black Trustbusters thing. 'Cause that is so true. That they were doing some like right to work protests with on another planet.
Absolutely.
Right. Sorry, Hannah's giving me the music, so go.
I did do the wrap it up gesture under the table.
Sorry, I'm giggling to myself. I'll stop.
Yeah, you're just so amused you can't stop. Okay, well, that's actually crazy that we came to like mostly a consensus, and the 2 movies that we only had 2 votes for was on honorable mention list. So
Yeah.
they very much belong here.
It feels
and
right.
I think
So you're gonna have to
that is
make
a really
this-
fair.
You're gonna make this. You're gonna
I
do some
will.
Photoshop. Cool.
Yeah, after we post the episode, I'll post the weird bump graphic of aliens over 4 presidents. Before we wrap up, guys, why don't you remind our listeners where to find you?
Yeah. So watch this film blog on Instagram. Follow me there if you want to follow the countdown of the movies. You can follow me on Blue Sky at ev-manser.bsky.social. I've also got an episode of media/lit that's going to be dropping right around the same time that this pod drops. That is a Game of Thrones character draft and game where we pitted our high councils against each other and tried to win the throne. I won't spoil it and say who won, but it was a great time. And so if you're into those kind of things, check that one out. Media/lit. Should be dropping probably about a week after this because it's for the new season of House of the Dragon. So everything's happening this summer.
Very fun. I like it. And Kimberly, where can our listeners find you?
Well, you can find us primarily on YouTube with Forever Fangirls Reviews. We're on Instagram, same handle, Threads, Blue Sky, TikTok, all of them same handles. And we're going to actually be reviewing Disclosure Day. So I'm very excited for that one. I'm very thankful that you allowed me to be a part of this one with my crazy suggestions.
Well, my takes were apparently also off the wall, given only 2 of mine made it in too. So you're in, I guess,
I'm in great company.
Yeah.
It's great company, yeah. Come on.
But
there was not a bad movie on this list, okay?
That's true.
Yeah.
No one said anything bad, thank goodness.
Except maybe Signs in some people's minds. But,
hey,
I'll take
M. Night's going to M. Night.
Yeah.
A lot of people say that's their favorite M. Night.
There you
So,
go.
like,
I love
it's a good pick. We will have our episode coming out next week at the time of release on Disclosure Day as well. So make sure to come back and check that out.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you both for joining us. This was a lot of fun.
So fun.
I got a lot of giggles out of this one.
Yeah.
So
Thank you so much for having me.
you.
It was a blast. Love this.
So much fun.
Yeah, well, you're obviously welcome back anytime. We'll have to find some other fun stuff to do. But in the meantime, that's it for today.
So we'll wrap it up. Thank you, everyone, for listening. I've been Matt Hanna.
I'm Hannah.
This is Horror at the Hannahs. Stay tuned.
And stay scared. Thank you for listening to Horror Hour with the Hannahs. Make sure to listen to future episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or wherever else you can find podcasts. You can also find us on YouTube, where we post episodes and shorts. You can follow us at Horror Hour with the Hannahs on TikTok and Instagram, as well as at Horror Hour on Blue Sky for more content. If you like the podcast, please follow and leave a review on your favorite podcasting app. Happy hauntings!